There comes a moment in every life when the world grows silent, when the noise of others fades, when the light inside you begins to flicker, uncertain if it should keep burning. You wake up one morning and everything feels heavier. The air, the thoughts, the memory of who you were before all this began. You look around and realize, somewhere along the way, you lost yourself, not in one grand fall, but in 1,000 quiet steps. Each choice made to please others, each silence swallowed to avoid conflict, each smile forced through the pain. You became a stranger in your own reflection, a face familiar, but eyes distant, as if watching from another world. You thought strength meant pretending you were fine. You thought courage meant carrying it all alone. But the truth is, even mountains crack under their own weight. And now, you feel that crack, the fracture within your soul, the quiet whisper saying, enough. You walk through days like a ghost, half here, half gone. You answer questions no one asks. You perform the rituals of normal life. Work, talk, eat, sleep. But inside there's only emptiness. The laughter that once lifted you now feels foreign. The dreams that once drove you now lie still. You have become a spectator to your own existence. You wonder if this is how it ends, not with a storm, but with the slow fading of light. And yet, somewhere deep beneath the weight of it all, a small voice remains. It says stand, not because the pain is gone, but because it hasn't defeated you. Epictetus once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And though those words seem distant now, they are a bridge back to yourself. You breathe, not because it feels good, but because it's the only thing you can still control. One breath, one heartbeat, one decision to endure. Pain isolates, but it also purifies. It strips away illusions. It reveals what was always real beneath the noise. You remember Marcus Aurelius wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. So you sit, you stop running, you face what hurts, the betrayal, the loss, the fear, the loneliness. You face them not as enemies, but as teachers, for what else could shape the soul more than suffering? You whisper into the silence, I will not escape, I will understand. And that's when the world begins to shift. Not outside you, but within. The first step toward peace is not escape, it is endurance. You learn to stay with the pain, to watch it, to breathe through it, to see it not as punishment, but as a forge, for gold is tested by fire, and the soul by suffering. The days blur into nights, the nights stretch into thoughts. You find yourself reflecting on the ruins of what was. You ask the questions you once avoided. Who am I when everything falls apart? What remains when all that defined me is gone? Silence answers, and in that silence you hear the truth. You were never the titles, never the applause, never the validation of others. You were always the consciousness watching it all unfold. Seneca once wrote, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. And slowly you see what he meant. Much of what torments you is not the event itself, but the story you've told about it. You replay the past like a broken film. The words said, the moments missed, the pain inflicted, as if you could rewrite it through remembrance. But the Stoics remind us, you cannot control what has already happened. You can only control what you do now. And so you begin to release, not in one dramatic act, but in small deliberate breaths. Each exhale, a letting go. Each inhale, a return to the present. The mind resists. It clings to blame, to guilt, to the identity of the wounded. But you persist. You remind yourself, you are not your wounds. You are the one who heals them. You begin to see that everything in life is borrowed. Time, people, even pain. Nothing is truly yours to keep. And that realization, though sharp, brings peace. For if nothing is yours, then nothing can truly be lost. Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You repeat those words until they settle in your bones. You have power over your mind, not the storm, not the past, not others. Your mind. So you begin the quiet work of mastery, not to dominate emotion, but to understand it. You watch anger rise, and instead of reacting, you listen. You feel sadness visit, and instead of rejecting it, you welcome it as an old friend. You realize emotions are not enemies. They are signals, messengers of unmet needs and unhealed wounds. The Stoic does not kill emotion. He learns to live above its control. Each day you become less reactive, less entangled, more aware. You begin to sense the power of stillness, not the stillness of absence, but the stillness of presence. the kind that watches chaos and remains unmoved. This is not indifference. It is inner freedom, and with it comes clarity. The ability to see life not as you wish it to be, but as it is. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? And that single shift transforms everything. You walk through life differently now, not lighter, but steadier. The pain didn't vanish. It became part of your strength. You no longer run from solitude. You sit with it. You listen to its quiet wisdom. You understand that every person walks with invisible battles. That kindness is not weakness. It's mastery over one's impulses. You realize control is not about forcing outcomes, but aligning yourself with what you can command. Your choices, your attitude, your response. Epictetus taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And now you understand. Freedom isn't the absence of hardship. It's the power to remain unbroken within it. You no longer chase approval. You no longer fear loss. You no longer depend on the world to validate your worth. You have met yourself, the one beneath the noise. You have learned that you can endure, that you can rebuild, that you can choose peace even in chaos. Every scar has become a verse in your story. Every failure, a teacher. Every ending, a new beginning in disguise. You realize the world was never against you. It was shaping you, refining you, preparing you for the strength you now carry. The calm within you is not weakness, it's victory. Because now you know, no one can take from you what you no longer cling to. Part 4, Inner Peace and Strength. You rise before dawn. The air is still, the world quiet. You breathe deeply, and for the first time in a long time, you feel alive. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are. The past no longer defines you. The future no longer frightens you. You have found the strength that cannot be seen. The strength of a soul aligned with reason. You live simply. Think deeply. Act with purpose. You meet life as it comes, without resistance, without fear. You understand what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." And your thoughts now flow with clarity, with gratitude, with peace. You are no longer at war with yourself. You are at peace within. The world may tremble, but you will not, because you have learned that storms do not destroy the mountain. They reveal its strength. You are that mountain, silent, unshaken, enduring. You no longer seek to escape life. You seek to live it fully, with virtue, with courage, with wisdom. You walk through the world knowing you can face whatever comes, because the fire that once burned you now lights your path. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." And your mind is now unbreakable. You have mastered yourself. And in doing so, you have mastered life. You no longer wish for things to be easier. You wish to be stronger. You no longer pray for comfort. You pray for clarity. You no longer seek to control the world. You seek to control your mind. And in that simple shift, you have found peace.